हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल ओमनी ज्ञान। मेरे चैनल ओमनी ज्ञान में आप सब लोगों का फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। सो अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग मोटिवेटिंग लेसन फॉर क्लास 9, माय चाइल्डहुड. This is a biography by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam himself. Okay, and this is, as you know, it is in the English syllabus, the main book. Okay, English reader for class 9, MBOSE and CBSE both. And I am going to do here a paragraph by paragraph explanation so that you don't miss any important points from the story. Okay, so I'm going to make here a full explanation of the story. So without any further delay, let us start the explanation. Now, it is a very interesting story, a very motivating story, how APJ Abdul Kalam, from a small village, how he became the president of India, how he became successful. Though the journey of his becoming the president and all is not written here, for that you will have to read another book which is called The Wings of Fire. Okay, I have read the book. It's a very interesting, a motivating book. And let me tell you, students, that when I'm teaching this story, first of all, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is my hero. Actually, he is my idol. I follow him a lot. I follow his sayings. I follow the things that he has said, he has written. Okay, and this is an autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Autobiography, as you know, is a life story written by that person himself. Okay, about his or her own life. Okay, so this autobiography has been extracted from the book Wings of Fire. It is by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam himself. Okay, तो ये एक autobiography है. ठीक है, तो इन दिस स्टोरी यू विल लर्न हाउ कलाम हैज़ फेस्ड एंड ओवरकम स्ट्रगल इन हिज लाइफ. तो इस कहानी में आप सीखेंगे, क्या सीखेंगे, दैट हाउ कलाम हैज़ फेस्ड एंड हाउ ही ओवरकेम द स्ट्रगल्स दैट ही हैड फेस्ड इन हिज लाइफ. ओके, सो the story begins in this way, that APJ Abdul Kalam was born in a middle class family, Tamil family in Rameshwaram, which was part of the Madras state. So APJ Abdul Kalam was born in a middle class Tamil family, okay, where in Rameshwaram, please note down the important points, okay, and Rameshwaram used to be one part of Madras. Madras, as you know, now it has become Chennai, okay, so at that time it was Madras, so Rameshwaram was part of the Madras state. Okay, तो रामेश्वरम का जन्म हुआ था कहाँ पे, एक तमिल फैमिली रामेश्वरम में. Okay, his father Jainuddin was not very educated and did not have much money, but he was wise and kind hearted. तो उनके पिता जो थे, अब्दुल कलाम के पिता जो थे जैनुलब्दीन, वो इतने एजुकेटेड नहीं थे. ही वॉज नॉट सो मच एजुकेटेड एंड ही डिड नॉट हैव सो मच मनी ऑल्सो, बट ही वॉज वेरी वाइज. सी, in order to have wisdom, you don't need bookish education. Let me tell you this thing, okay. See, do not be encouraged. Okay, so if education is not required, still we can become wise, so let us leave education. No, I am not telling that. The foundational education is very important, okay. That cannot be learned through books. That only can be learned from your parents. Like, if I learn all the good habits, I learn from my parents or teachers, okay, but books cannot give you so much, okay. So he was very wise. Even if he was not educated, he was very wise and he was very kind hearted also. बहुत बड़े दिल के वो इंसान थे अब्दुल कलाम के पिता जैनुलब्दीन. Okay, his mother Ashiamma was a great support to his father and was very generous. So even his mother always supported Abdul Kalam's father, okay, her husband, and she was a great support to Abdul Kalam's father, and she was also very kind hearted, very generous. Okay, दिल की बहुत बड़ी थी उनकी माँ भी. Now many people, now this is a very significant thing in the story. You see, many people ate at their home every day, and the number of guests was often more than the family members. तो अब्दुल कलाम का जो family था, Abdul Kalam's family was quite big, and you see, even outside their family members, there were many outsiders also who used to eat in their homes every day, especially the poor people. There were many poor people, in Rameshwaram, who used to regularly eat at Abdul Kalam's house, and no one returned empty stomach. कोई भी खाली पेट वापस लौट के नहीं जाता था. जितने भी members आते थे, even sometimes there were many guests who used to come and eat there, okay, and they never returned empty stomach. They were always fed. And Ashiamma always took great care in cooking and feeding all the guests whoever came to their house. Okay, Now he was one of the many children and was short in height. तो अब्दुल कलाम के बहुत भाई बहन थे. Abdul Kalam had many brothers and sisters, and he was one of those many brothers and sisters. He was not very handsome. I am sure all of you have seen the photo of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was short. He was not. He did not have a great height, and he was not good looking also. While his parents were tall and good looking. Okay, though his parents were tall, his parents were good looking, but APJ Abdul Kalam was not good looking at all. He was short in height also and not good looking also. You have seen Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's photograph. Okay, आप सब लोगों ने देखा है. Now they lived in an old family house built in the 19th century. उनका घर भी पुराना था. The house where they lived in was also very old. It was a 19th century house. Okay, it was their old family house, but it was big and strong, made of limestone and brick, located on Mosque Street. तो अगर आपको पूछा जाए where did APJ Abdul Kalam live, you can write APJ Abdul Kalam lived in Rameshwaram, which was located on the Mosque Street. Okay, so he lived in a very old family house built in 19th century, but it was big and strong, and it was made of what? Limestone brick. Okay, limestone or brick से बना हुआ, and it was located on the Mosque Street. His father was a simple man who avoided unnecessary luxuries. ठीक है, उनके पिता बहुत सिंपल आदमी थे. वेरी सिंपल मैन. ही डिड नॉट लाइक एनी लग्जरीज द वे वी लाइक. ओके, बट एंश्योर दैट ऑल एसेंशियल नीड्स लाइक फूड, मेडिसिन एंड क्लोथिंग वेर मेट. तो उनके पिता खुद कोई लग्जरियस आइटम्स इस्तेमाल नहीं करते थे. ही हिमसेल्फ डिड नॉट यूज एनी लग्जरी आइटम्स, बट ही ऑलवेज मेड श्योर दैट द एसेंशियल थिंग्स वेर ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट इन द हाउस, लाइक फूड, medicine and clothes. Okay, he always took care of these things, that there should not be any problem in these things, especially food, medicine and clothes. Okay, so he always took care of these three things. He had a safe and comfortable childhood. So APJ Abdul Kalam had a very safe and comfortable childhood, both in terms of material things and emotional support. So you see, only material things are not important. Say you ask something from your father, you need a phone, you need a laptop, you need this, you need that. Those are material things. And emotional support is when you fall into any difficulty, you are not able to take any decision, then your parents are always there to provide you the emotional support. Somebody told you something, किसी ने आपको कुछ बोल दिया स्कूल में, तो the emotional support is also very important in the house, which is basically provided by the parents only. Okay, so APJ Abdul Kalam had both material things, whatever he asked he got, and at the same time he got emotional support also in times of emotional crisis के टाइम पे जो support उनको मिलता था वो उनको मिलता था. Okay, and he had a very safe and comfortable childhood. देखिए, जिनके घर में material support और emotional support दोनों मिलता है, उनका childhood तो safe और comfortable होगा ही. Right. Now, the Second World War started in 1939 when APJ Abdul Kalam was only 8 years old. Please remember these small points. These are very important points. तो Second World War start हुआ कब? 1939 में. And APJ Abdul Kalam at that time, what was his age? He was 8 years old only. बहुत छोटे थे वो. Suddenly there was a high demand for tamarind seeds. इमली का जो seeds होता है उसके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा demand हो गया था suddenly एक बार. Though APJ Abdul Kalam did not understand why the demand for tamarind seeds suddenly increased like that in the market. हाँ, ठीक है. हालांकि APJ Abdul Kalam को कभी भी पता नहीं चला कि tamarind seeds का डिमांड इतना मार्केट में क्यों आया, लेकिन एक दिन सडनली क्या हुआ, मार्केट में जो है tamarind seeds के लिए बहुत हाई डिमांड होने लगा. सबको tamarind seeds चाहिए. Though APJ Abdul Kalam did not know the reason. Now he collected the seeds and sold them at the shops on Mosque Street. Remember, he was the president of our country, and look at his childhood. He collected these seeds and he sold them at a shop on the Mosque Street. वो ये सीड्स कलेक्ट करते थे कहीं से और उनको जाके मस्जिद वाली गली मतलब मॉस्क स्ट्रीट में जाके बेचते थे टू अर्न सम इनकम. ओके, टू अर्न सम मनी, पॉकेट मनी. ओके, each day's collection earned him how much? 1 anna. 1 anna is actually a very old time amount. Okay, तो हर दिन उनको कितना कमाई होता था? 1 आना का कमाई होता था, which was a very small amount but valuable to him. Okay, today 10 rupees may not hold a value for you, but let me tell you that APJ Abdul Kalam was a completely different person. He respected the amount that he got. Okay, today's children are not like that. If they got 10 rupees, they would immediately feel with 10 rupees I'll only get a samosa or only maybe a chocolate. What else can I do with this 10 rupees? So you give me at least 50 rupees. So children nowadays are very demanding from their parents, but APJ Abdul Kalam was not like that. He understood very well that my family is not very rich. Okay, so he sold tamarind seeds and he earned, every day he earned 1 anna. Okay, and it was a very small amount, but it was very valuable to uh, APJ Abdul Kalam. And whenever he talked, he still talked about that 1 anna that he earned when he was only 8 year old. वो जब 8 साल के थे, जो 1 आना उन्होंने कमाया, ये उन्होंने हर बार हर स्पीच में उनका कहा है. Almost in every speech, if he was asked about this thing, if he was asked about his childhood, he would always say that 1 anna held a great value in his life. Now, his brother-in-law Jalaluddin told stories about the war. Okay, तो उनका एक brother-in-law था, Jalaluddin, okay, sister's husband, and he told him about stories about the Second World War. I think you remember the Second World War started in 1939, and that time APJ Abdul Kalam was only 8 years old. वो 8 साल के थे जब 1939 में सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर स्टार्ट हुआ. और जलालुद्दीन उनके जो ब्रदर इन लॉ है वो उनको वार की कहानियाँ सुनाया करते थे. Now Kalam tried to find those stories of the world war in the newspaper called Dinamani. तो एक न्यूज़पेपर निकलता था in Rameshwaram, and it was Dinamani. Okay, the only newspaper, it was Dinamani, and from there APJ Abdul Kalam used to read about stories about the war. ठीक है, read the stories about the war. तो ये सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर की जो कहानियाँ हैं ये कहाँ पे अब कलाम को मिलेगा? बिकॉज कलाम वॉज वेरी इंटरेस्टेड टू रीड, सो ही यूज्ड टू रीड अबाउट द स्टोरीज अबाउट द वार from this newspaper called Dinamani. Now, his area was far from the war zone, so it remained unaffected in the beginning. तो क्योंकि रामेश्वरम के जहाँ पे वो रहते थे, the place where in Rameshwaram, the place in Rameshwaram where APJ Abdul Kalam used to live was very far from the war zone, so that area was not affected by the Second World War. Okay, but later, when India joined the war on the side of the Allied forces, an emergency was declared. लेकिन बाद में जाके व्हेन इंडिया जॉइन द वार ऑन द एलाइड फोर्सेस, ओके, एलाइड फोर्सेस मतलब कुछ कंट्रीज मिलके उन्होंने एक आर्मी बनाया और सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर में अपने सोल्जर्स भेजे. तो उस टाइम पे इमरजेंसी वाज डिक्लेयर्ड इन द एंटायर कंट्री इंक्लूडिंग रामेश्वरम ऑल्सो. ठीक है, अब आगे देखते. द फर्स्ट इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द वार वाज ऑन हिज टाउन एंड इट वाज दैट द ट्रेन्स डिड नॉट स्टॉप एट रामेश्वरम स्टेशन. Now there was a train station in Rameshwaram, and a train used to stop there. But when the emergency was declared and the impact of the war was so much that this train did not stop, it simply moved away. Okay, वो रामेश्वरम में hold नहीं करता था, rather it used to go away. Okay, so now you see the newspapers, this Dinamani newspaper had to be thrown out from the moving train. ये newspapers had to be thrown out of the moving train at Rameshwaram Road between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. Dhanushkodi is the last place in India. धनुषकोडी लास्ट प्लेस इन इंडिया है. ठीक है, आप लोग मैप देख लीजिए तो आपको पता चलेगा. धनुषकोडी इज द एंडिंग पॉइंट ऑफ इंडिया, द एंडिंग प्लेस ऑफ इंडिया. ओके, नाउ न्यूज़पेपर, अब पहले तो रामेश्वरम में ट्रेन रुकता था. अर्लियर ट्रेन यूज्ड टू स्टॉप इन रामेश्वरम एंड देन यू नो you could easily enter the train and bring out the newspapers, but now the train did not stop, and from inside the moving train only the newspapers used to be thrown on the platform. Okay, and this throwing of the newspaper happened between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. तो somewhere ये रामेश्वरम और ये रहा धनुषकोडी, इसके बीच में जो स्टेशन है यहाँ पे जाके न्यूज़पेपर्स को फेंका जाता था from the moving train. Okay, now his cousin Samsuddin, who delivered newspapers, needed help to catch the bundles which were thrown out of the moving train. Now APJ Abdul Kalam also had a cousin actually whose name was Samsuddin. So Samsuddin needed help so that someone can help me catch the bundles of newspapers which were thrown out of the moving train. तो उसको हेल्प चाहिए था कि ट्रेन से जो बंडल फेंक रहा था उसको पकड़ने के लिए एक हेल्प चाहिए था. तो ही टोल्ड अब्दुल कलाम दैट व्हाई डोंट यू कम एंड हेल्प मी आउट. सो कलाम टुक अप द जॉब एंड स्टार्टेड हेल्पिंग हिम. तो कलाम ने वो नौकरी ले ली. क्यों? सो दैट ही कैन अर्न सम एक्स्ट्रा मनी ऑल्सो. So he took up the job and started helping his cousin Samsuddin. So this was his first experience of earning money on his own. तो ये APJ अब्दुल कलाम का फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस था कि पैसा उन्होंने जब पहली बार इतना बड़ा अमाउंट कमाया. ओके, तो इट वॉज नॉट अ वेरी वेरी बिग अमाउंट, बट एटलीस्ट वो जो 1 आना उन्होंने कमाया था बाय सेलिंग टैबरिन सीड्स, he earned more than that. Okay, so he still remembered, he remembered the experience of earning money on his own by selling the newspapers. ठीक है. So even after 50 years, he still felt proud of earning his first wages. Okay, so after helping Samsuddin, his cousin, when Abdul Kalam earned his first wages, his first income. Okay, even after 50 years, okay, when he grew up and he became a very established person, okay, he still felt proud of his first earning. Okay, just see the humility, the humble quality of APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, now Abdul Kalam says that every child is born with some qualities that come from their parents, and this is very true also. You see, we all we earn some qualities actually by birth, and those qualities we get by birth from our parents only. Okay, every child gets some qualities from his parents. The child grows up in a particular family. Now this is said by APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, the child grows up in a particular family, financial situation and emotional environment. Okay, so all these factors actually helps in the growth, mental growth of the child, mental physical growth of the child. Okay, so you see, we all grow up, we get a particular family, we all have our own financial situations. Okay, and we get an emotional environment, whatever the environment is, but we all do get an emotional environment. हम सबको एक emotional environment घर पे मिलता है, and this is very very important for the child's growth. Now APJ Abdul Kalam had got all these things in a combo pack, as we say, in a combo pack. Okay, and that is why he grew up to be such a successful person in life. Okay, so Kalam, what did he get from his father and mother? Kalam got honesty and self-discipline from his father. He got faith in goodness and kindness from his mother. Please remember these 2 points, very important points also for your exam. That what did he get from his father? Kalam got honesty and self-discipline from his father. And what did he get from his mother? He got faith in goodness and kindness from his mother. Okay, and not only APJ Abdul Kalam, his 3 brothers and sister also learned these values: honesty, self-discipline, goodness, kindness. All these qualities actually, not only APJ Abdul Kalam, unke 3 bhai, his 3 brothers and sister also earned these values from their parents. Okay, now we move on to another section of the story. This is regarding the childhood friends of APJ Abdul Kalam. Now Kalam had 3 very close best childhood friends. Okay, Ramananda Shastri is one, Aravindan and Siva Prakashan. So these are the 3 best childhood friends, close childhood friends of APJ Abdul Kalam. And let me tell you that all 3 friends were from traditional Hindu Brahmin families. APJ Abdul Kalam is a Muslim boy, he is from a Muslim family, but all his 3 very close friends are not only from Hindu, but from traditional Hindu Brahmin families. Okay, now there is a story here that you are going to learn, and it is a very moving, a very touching, a very emotional story. Okay, and what is the story? You see, I'll come to that. Now, as children, they never thought about religious differences. Generally, nowadays, that is why I have stopped watching news at all. I only watch news that are, completely away from, religious news. I do not watch religious news at all. You see, as we grow up, we learn actually from our environment, from our neighborhood, the differences between religion. It should never take place, let me tell you. We always should have a very free mind. Okay, so when APJ Abdul Kalam was growing, he was the only Muslim boy, and the other 3 friends were Hindu Brahmin, belong to Hindu Brahmin families, and that to traditional Hindu Brahmin families. हम लोग इसको बोलते कट्टर हिंदू, मतलब they do not eat food from any non-Hindu person. Okay, especially the Brahmin families. But you see, as children, they never thought about any religious differences, that APJ Abdul Kalam is a Muslim, we are from Hindu Brahmin families. we should not mix with a Muslim boy. There was nothing like that. They all had pure thoughts in their mind, very pure and sacred thoughts in their mind, okay? And they all were very good friends. Now, who was Ramananda Shastri's father? Just see this thing, okay? Ramananda Shastri's father was the head priest of Rameshwaram temple. Now, you can imagine that Ramananda Shastri, his father actually, okay, was actually the head priest of Rameshwaram temple. सबसे बड़े पुजारी थे वो Rameshwaram temple के. Later, Ramananda Shastri became the temple priest like his father. So, later Ramananda Shastri also followed his father's profession, and he also became the priest and took his father's place in the temple. What did Aravindan do when he grew up? Aravindan started a business to arrange transport for pilgrims. तो अरविंदन जो है जब वो बड़े हुए तब उन्होंने एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया. एंड व्हाट इज द बिजनेस? ही यूज्ड टू अरेंज व्हीकल्स ट्रांसपोर्ट फॉर द पिलग्रिम्स. पिलग्रिम्स मीन्स दोज हु अंडरटेक रिलीजियस जर्नी. जो रिलीजियस जर्नी अंडरटेक करते हैं उनको हम पिलग्रिम्स बोलते हैं. तो अरविंदन स्टार्टेड अ बिजनेस टू अरेंज द ट्रांसपोर्ट व्हीकल्स, ओके, फॉर दोज हु यूज्ड टू go for religious journey like pilgrims, okay. Shiva Prakashan, what did he do? He became a catering contractor for Southern Railways. So catering, one who provides food in a train, okay. So Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for Southern Railways. These are very important informations. Please remember these informations, okay. In informations को आप याद रखिए, ठीक है. अब every year during the Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam festival, this is a Hindu festival, Sita Rama Kalyanam festival, it is a purely Hindu festival. Kalam's family arranged boats with a special platform. तो आप सोचिए कि a Hindu festival, a purely Hindu festival, for them Kalam's family, a Muslim family, used to arrange boats with a special platform. Now what was the special platform made for? These boats carried the idols of Lord Rama, Hindu god, and Sita, Lord Rama's wife, from the temple to the marriage site in the middle of a pond called Rama Tirtha, which was near their house. So every year, Kalam's family, a Muslim family, used to arrange boats, okay, and in these boats, what were carried? Idols, okay, idols of Lord Rama and Sita, from the temple to the marriage site. कहाँ से कहाँ तक? From the temple to the marriage site. And this was in the middle of a pond, and the name of the pond was Rama Tirtha, okay. And it was located near APJ Abdul Kalam's house only. वो APJ Abdul Kalam के बिल्कुल घर के पास ही था. तो you can imagine a Muslim family arranging boats for Hindu festivals, religious festivals. Kalam's mother and grandmother used to tell bedtime stories to the children in the family. So both Kalam's mother and grandmother used to tell a lot of stories to Kalam and Kalam's brothers and sister, okay, during the bedtime, okay, जब वो सोने जाते थे. And these stories were not only Muslim stories, let me tell you, these stories were from the Ramayana and also from the life of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad is a Muslim god, okay. Now, these stories were not only from the Muslim text, it was from the Hindu text also, like the Ramayana, okay, and also the life of Prophet Muhammad. So they believed in all religions. They believed and they embraced all religions, okay. That is why APJ Abdul Kalam became the APJ Abdul Kalam later in life. Now, one day an incident occurred in Abdul Kalam's school. Now, this is the incident, this is the story that I was going to tell you, okay. एक घटना हुआ एक दिन APJ Abdul Kalam के स्कूल में. At that time, APJ Abdul Kalam was a school student. Now, what was the incident? Now, Kalam was in the 5th standard at that time. Kalam तब class 5 में पढ़ते थे at Rameshwaram Elementary School. Okay? And a new teacher joined the class. Okay? So, please remember all these names, okay? That when Kalam was in the 5th standard at which school? Rameshwaram Elementary School. One new teacher came. One new teacher joined the school, and he came to APJ Abdul Kalam's class. Now, Kalam wore a cap, and the cap showed that he was a Muslim. Obviously, you've seen Muslim people wearing a white cap, right? So, he wore a cap, and that cap showed that he was a Muslim, okay? And he always sat in the front row next to his best friend Ramananda Shastri. Now, out of his three closest friends, actually Ramananda Shastri was his best friend and he was a Hindu boy, and Ramananda Shastri's father was the head priest in Rameshwaram temple. I just gave you the information. ठीक है, तो अब कलाम जो है वो टोपी पहनते थे और टोपी से बिल्कुल ये लोग वो टोपी देख के समझ लेते थे that he was a Muslim. Now APJ Abdul Kalam always used to sit at the front bench with his best friend Ramananda Shastri. Okay, and in every Brahmin family you will find Brahmin male, not female, Brahmin male, they wear a sacred thread. Okay, वो एक sacred white color का thread वो पहनते हैं. Okay, now the new teacher did not like a Hindu priest's son sitting beside a Muslim boy. तो वो जो क्लास के जो टीचर आए, the teacher in the class, he did not like that a Muslim boy was sitting with a Hindu, with another Hindu boy. वो भी a priest's son, एक पुजारी का बेटा जो है एक मुस्लिम लड़के के साथ बैठा है, ये टीचर को बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आया. The teacher did not like this. And the teacher told what? He asked Kalam to move to the last bench. So the teacher told Kalam that you go to the last bench and sit there. Don't sit at the front bench with Ramananda Shastri. Now you see Ramananda Shastri looked heartbroken and he even cried when Kalam moved to the back. So Kalam and Ramananda, they were best friends. Now the teacher came and separated them. Why? Just because there was a religious difference. Kalam was a Muslim boy and Ramananda was a Hindu boy. And that too, a priest ka beta, a priest's son. And when Kalam was told, you go to the last bench, Ramananda Shastri cried. वो फर्स्ट बेंच पे बैठ के वो रोए बहुत, क्योंकि मेरे बेस्ट फ्रेंड को मुझसे सेपरेट कर दिया गया. द टीचर सेपरेटेड माई बेस्ट फ्रेंड. ओके, फ्रेंडशिप डज नॉट नो एनी रिलीजियन, लेट मी टेल यू. नो रिलीजियन, नो कम्युनिटी. कलाम ऑल्सो फेल्ट वेरी सैड ऑन बीइंग सेपरेटेड. कलाम को भी बहुत बुरा लगा. इवन कलाम ऑल्सो क्राइड व्हेन ही सैट एट द लास्ट बेंच. ही वाज सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम हिज बेस्ट फ्रेंड. ही ऑल्सो क्राइड ऑन बीइंग सेपरेटेड. आफ्टर स्कूल, Kalam and his friend told their parents about this unfair incident. तो स्कूल के बाद Kalam went to his house, his friend Ramananda went to his house and they told their respective parents. उन्होंने अपने parents को बताया that our teacher did this today in the school. Now Lakshman Shastri, a respected elder, he is Ramananda's father, okay, and he was the head priest, okay. So he was a very respected elder in that sense. He called the teacher and scolded him in front of the students. तो उन्होंने उस टीचर को बुलाया सामने कि आप आइए यहाँ पे, come near me, okay. And he scolded the teacher in front of all the students. And what did he tell the teacher? Lakshman Shastri told the teacher not to spread discrimination and hatred among children on the basis of religion. So Lakshman Shastri, father of Ramananda, he told the teacher that please do not spread discrimination and hatred on the basis of religion among the children. बच्चों के बीच आप ऐसा discrimination, ऐसे hatred आप मत सिखाइए. All of them are kids. Let them grow together. Let there be no religious differences, discriminations. Okay, he told the teacher like that. And finally, he very strongly, Lakshman Shastri, very strongly, he asked the teacher to either apologize or leave both the school and Rameshwaram. So Lakshmana Shastri became so angry. See, he is the head priest and his son's friend is a Muslim guy. So he should have supported the teacher, right? But no, Lakshman Shastri did not support the teacher. He scolded the teacher and said, you tell sorry to the children, to this both the boys, you tell sorry to them. Or if you do not tell sorry, then you have to leave both school and you have to leave Rameshwaram also. And the teacher realized his mistake. The teacher felt sorry for his mistake and later changed his way of thinking. तो टीचर ने ये रियलाइज़ किया, उनको लगा कि नहीं मैंने गलत किया, हैव डन अ मिस्टेक, एंड ही लेटर चेंज्ड हिज वे ऑफ थिंकिंग. तो ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन उन्होंने फिर कभी नहीं किया. ही नेवर डिड एनी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन in the school after this incident. Now, in Rameshwaram, society was strict about keeping different social groups separate. Rameshwaram में ये चीज़ था, एक चीज़ था Rameshwaram में, that the society was very strict because Rameshwaram is basically a Hindu place, okay, a Hindu majority place. Now that society did not like Hindus and Muslims to mix together. That is why they wanted Hindus to be separate and Muslims to live separately and not mingle, not mix with one another. So this society was like that, okay. But there is another incident that I'm going to tell you now, another story, okay. However, Kalam's science teacher Shiva Subramania Iyer did not believe in these rigid rules. ऐसे strict rules में कलाम के जो science teacher थे, the science teacher of Kalam, Shiva Subramania Iyer, he did not believe in any such differences, any such rigid, strict rules. For him, human beings are on the top. Then comes religion. So even though his teacher was a traditional Brahmin, even Shiva Subramania Iyer was a traditional Brahmin, but still he wanted to bring change in the society. वो चाहते थे कि समाज में, सोसाइटी में कुछ चेंज आए. What change? Change is this only, that no one should be discriminated. All are human beings after all drink the same water, all breathe the same air. So we all live under the same sun. So where is the difference? Okay. So he did not like all these discriminations in this, in Rameshwaram. Okay. And he spent a lot of time with Kalam and encouraged him to grow. Kalam was a very talented student, let me tell you. Okay. So, Shiva Subramania Iyer, his science teacher, he spent a lot of time talking with Kalam and he always encouraged him to grow. ठीक है, आगे देखते हैं. He further, the science teacher, he told Kalam to work hard and become as educated as people in big cities. तो कलाम को वो हमेशा कहते थे, his science teacher Shiva Subramania Iyer always used to tell Kalam that you work hard and you become educated as people are educated in big cities. जैसे बड़े बड़े शहरों के लोग जो है educated होते हैं, तो you become educated like them. Okay. Now one day what happened is that one day Shiva Subramania Iyer, his science teacher, invited APJ Abdul Kalam to his house for a meal. खाने पे एक दिन उसके साइंस टीचर ने APJ अब्दुल कलाम को अपने घर पे बुलाया. ओके. नाउ Iyer's wife refused to serve food to Kalam. Okay, especially in her kitchen, because Kalam was a Muslim and she thought her kitchen should stay pure. तो अब Shiva Subramania Iyer wanted to change the society, but in his house only, and his wife, he did not like the idea of a Muslim boy eating in her kitchen. So she refused to serve food. उन्होंने खाना परोसने से मना कर दिया. That I will not serve food to a Muslim boy. And this Muslim boy should not eat inside my kitchen because my kitchen will become impure. मेरा kitchen जो है वो impure हो जाएगा, या फिर in normal language मेरा kitchen जो है, अगर एक मुस्लिम लड़का आया तो मेरा kitchen जो है वो pollute हो जाएगा. My kitchen will be polluted. Shiva Subramania Iyer did not get angry. Now he knew that my wife does not like this thing. She was a very rigid Hindu. Okay, she did not like this thing. But Shiva Subramania Iyer did not get angry on his wife. He also did not get upset with his wife also. Neither angry nor upset. He was neutral. तो जब wife ने मना कर दिया, when wife refused that I will not serve food to a Muslim boy, this Kalam, okay, no problem. Instead, he served food to Kalam himself and sat beside him to eat. अब जो है Shiva Subramania Iyer, when his wife refused, he said no problem, I will serve you food. And his science teacher Shiva Subramania Iyer, he served food to Kalam himself. And not only that, he sat beside him to eat. तो एक साथ बैठ के दोनों ने खाना खाया. Now his wife secretly watched them from behind the kitchen door. अब kitchen door के बाहर जो है उसकी wife पीछे से खड़ी थी. She was standing very silently outside the kitchen door and she watched Kalam eating food. Actually she wanted to see that how a Muslim boy eats food, whether their process of eating food is different from a Hindu person or not. This she wanted to check, but ultimately it was the same. The way a Muslim eats food, the same way a Hindu will eat food, the same way a Christian will eat food. We all eat the same food. Then why such differences? Through this story, if you get 1% motivation also from this story, you see this, the whole scenario of this globe, of this earth will change. ये जो planet है earth, human beings should be on the top. Then religion should come. Okay, so his wife watched secretly from behind the kitchen door and Kalam wondered. अब Kalam ने देख लिया था. Kalam had seen his wife standing behind silently. So Kalam wondered if she noticed any difference in how he ate, drank water or cleaned the floor after the meal. ओके तो कलाम ने देख लिया था और कलाम ये सोचने लगे अंदर, कलाम स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इनसाइड दैट मे बी शी वाज नोटिसिंग दैट हाउ आई वाज ईटिंग माय फूड, हाउ आई ड्रैंक वाटर, एंड आफ्टर ईटिंग हाउ आई क्लीन्ड द फ्लोर आफ्टर हैविंग द मील। तो कैसे करके मैंने फ्लोर को क्लीन किया खाना खाने के बाद। तो शायद मे बी द वाइफ वॉज ट्राइंग टू नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द हिंदू वे ऑफ eating and drinking water and the Muslim way of eating and drinking water. But ultimately, you see, the wife could not find any difference. Now the meal was over. It was time for Kalam to go. So when Kalam was leaving, Siva Subramania Iyer invited him again for dinner the next weekend. जब कलाम जाने लगे तो शिव सुब्रमण्य अय्यर ने कलाम को इंटेंशनली फिर से इनवाइट किया। ही इंटेंशनली इनवाइटेड कलाम अगेन दैट यू कम फॉर डिनर अगेन नेक्स्ट वीकेंड, सैटरडे संडे को फिर से मेरे घर पे आओ डिनर के लिए। ही इन्वाइटेड हिम अगेन। सी हिज वाइफ वुड गेट एंग्री, शिवा सुब्रमण्य अय्यर न्यू दिस थिंग बट इट डिड नॉट मैटर टू हिम। ठीक है, बट कलाम हेजिटेटेड दिस टाइम बिकॉज ही हैड सीन हिज साइंस टीचर्स वाइफ hesitating to serve food. So Kalam hesitated. He said, no sir, I will not come. So Iyer understood. Okay, Siva Subramania Iyer understood his hesitation and told him that changing the system means facing such challenges. Alright. So the basis of this is that Kalam's teacher, science teacher, wanted to explain him when Kalam was hesitating to come again for dinner next weekend. Iyer understood this hesitation and told Kalam that, see, when you want to change the system, no, there will be many challenges that will come, in your way. But you should not be, you should not react to those situations. Stay normal. Again next week, when Kalam visited again, now Iyer's wife welcomed him into the kitchen. This time it was ulta. Earlier, Iyer's wife was not even, willing to serve food to him. But this time, next week when Kalam came again, Iyer's wife welcomed him into the kitchen and served food. This time, she served him food with her own hands, showing that she had changed her mindset. So maybe maybe Iyer's wife felt that I had done injustice by doing discrimination to this small boy. So what, he is a Muslim. He is a human being after all. Maybe Iyer's wife had realized her mistake, and that is why this time she not only welcomed Kalam into her kitchen, she also served him food with her own hands. That means it showed that she had changed her mindset completely. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं हम लोग. The Second World War had ended and India's independence was near now. Okay, 1945, Second World War ended and now India's independence was near. 1947, we got our independence. Mahatma Gandhi declared that Indians would build their own country, filling the nation with hope and excitement. So obviously, we were under the British rule for 200 years. And Mahatma Gandhi came with a very new, fresh, enthusiasm for the whole country and declared that Indians should build their own country, and it filled the entire nation with hope and excitement that we can now live in our own way. We will have the freedom to live in our own way. So everyone was hopeful and excited. Okay, APJ Abdul Kalam wanted to leave his hometown Rameshwaram to study in Ramanathapuram. तो APJ Abdul Kalam जो है वो higher studies के लिए, for higher studies he wanted to leave his hometown because Rameshwaram did not have any universities, good colleges or universities. So APJ Abdul Kalam wanted to leave his hometown, which is Rameshwaram, and he wanted to study in Ramanathapuram. Okay, वो Ramanathapuram जाके वो पढ़ाई लिखाई, higher studies वो करना चाहते थे. And as an obedient boy, he asked his father for permission. एक obedient लड़की की तरह उसने अपने पिताजी से permission मांगा कि father, I want to go to Ramanathapuram for my higher studies. Now his father understood his need to grow and agreed. उसके फादर ने इमीडिएटली अग्री किया, येस माई सन, यू नीड टू ग्रो, तुमको और बड़ा होना है. सो फॉर दिस हायर स्टडीज़ आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सो यू गो, यू हैव माई फुल परमिशन, तुम्हें मेरा पूरा परमिशन है, तुम जाओ, तुम पढ़ाई करो. नाउ हिज फादर कंपेयर्ड हिज जर्नी टू दैट ऑफ अ सीगल. Seagull is a bird that flies high in the sky, alone, without a home, and you will often find seagull, flying very high in the sky. Okay. And they live in the sea areas. Okay, समंदर के areas में वो generally मिलते हैं और बहुत ऊंचा fly करते हैं. And seagull is the only bird which flies high in the sky alone without a home. So he compared APJ Abdul Kalam with a seagull, that your journey is like a seagull. तुम्हारा जर्नी जो है एक सीगल की तरह है, तुमको और आसमान में ऊंचा उड़ना है. You have to fly very high in the sky and that too alone. You will not have any companions. Okay, you have to get success on your own. You don't have any godfather to give you success. Okay. Kalam's mother was hesitant, so his father quoted poet Khalil Gibran, explaining that children do not belong to their parents but to life itself. अब यहाँ पे जो है कलाम की माँ थोड़ी सी इमोशनल होगी. कलाम्स मदर बिकेम इमोशनल व्हेन कलाम वांटेड टू गो आउट एंड स्टडी. ऑब्वियसली एवरी मदर वुड बिकम इमोशनल. मेरा बेटा बाहर पढ़ने जा रहा है, फॉर a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, my son will be living without me. So it will be very tough for me to be separated from my son. So Kalam's mother was very hesitant. But his father explained Kalam's mother, and his father quoted a poet called Khalil Gibran, explaining that children do not belong to life. Khalil Gibran had said that children actually do not belong to their parents. Children अपने parents को belong नहीं करते. They belong to life. जिंदगी जीने के लिए वो belong करते हैं. Okay, did you understand? Fine. So let me tell you once again that Khalil Gibran had said, and this is what was quoted by his father. He said that children do not belong to their parents. Children parents को actually belong नहीं करते. They belong to life itself. So let them enjoy their life. Enjoy in a positive manner. Enjoy in a correct manner. Okay? So they belong to life itself. And he said that parents can give love to their children but cannot control their thoughts, as each child has their own ideas and path in life. So कलाम के फादर ने ये कहा कि that parents can give love to their children. Every parents give love to their children, but parents cannot control the emotions. Parents cannot control the thoughts of their children. Okay? And every child should have the freedom to have their own ideas and choose their own path. हर बच्चे को ये अधिकार है, ये right है to have their own ideas and to choose their own path in life. कि लाइफ में वो कैसे बढ़ना चाहते हैं आगे, ये फ्रीडम उनको देना चाहिए. वो अपने आइडियाज़ कैसे डेवलप करेंगे, ये फ्रीडम बच्चों को देना चाहिए. ठीक है, वो अपना रास्ता क्या चुनेंगे, ये फ्रीडम भी उनको बच्चों को देना चाहिए. दिस इज़ व्हाट Kalam's father meant. He explained Kalam's mother in this way. Okay, so this is the end of the story. ये है कहानी का अंत. I hope you have liked the story. Very emotional story. I have covered all the sections from the story. Still, I would suggest you to go through the book, do a book reading at least for some small things. But I'm sure if you have the book in front of you when you are listening or watching to this explanation, it will help you a lot to answer to any question that comes in the exam. Alright, and this is the end of the story. Very motivational and emotional story also. Okay, anyways, if you feel like sharing anything, please share in the comment section, and if you have any doubt, share in the comment section. Okay, now I have started giving out notes on English and additional English at very discounted price from classes 9 to 12. Many are purchasing from me with just ₹29 per lesson. If you want any special notes on any lesson, please contact me. Please DM me on Instagram. You can also send me mail. My mail ID is given here. Okay, यहाँ पे मेरा mail ID है, ये मेरा Instagram handle है. Please go and follow me there. Please follow me on Instagram. Okay, because there are many notifications that I keep giving on Instagram. Okay, so that's all from me for today. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share my videos. आप like नहीं करते हैं, you do not like, please put a like. Like कर दीजिए वीडियो को. I get a lot of motivation, as I always tell you. Okay, and you can scan these codes for Instagram and for my website. Please follow my website. I'm providing a lot of notes there also. Those notes are absolutely free of cost. But outside that, if you want any special notes, that is paid. Okay, that will be paid. And please follow me on Instagram. Okay, and with love from Omni Gyan. All the best to all of you. Thank you so much for watching the video.